Welcome to this week's edition of Professional Insights, brought to you by the National Referral Network and hosted by two incredibly handsome bald guys, both of whom are named Mike. I'm Mike. He's Mike. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Mike.
You sound a little raspy this morning, but that just means that you've got even more personality, which I didn't think was possible.
Okay? Thank you very much.
Oh, my gosh. The purpose of this presentation is to share professional wisdom, expertise, and you guessed it, insights, so that professionals of any persuasion can benefit. And today, we are here with NRN Premier Member Mark Hatch, who is an expert in the field of all things insurance. And he happens to also be, I don't know, I mean, it's the three bald guys this morning. You know, I mean, I'm seeing triple here. I don't know what
Hey, bald is beautiful, baby.
Bald is beautiful. You know, what do they say? Only a few people were given great intelligence, all the rest got hair, something like that, right? You know,
yes.
So here we are. The intelligence runneth over. Thanks for being here, Mark. So I got a lot of questions, and I'm going to jump right into this. So you are an expert in the field of insurance. What makes you and your firm unique? What do you do? Take us through that in a couple of seconds.
You know, what really makes us most unique is, with me as the founder, is a lot of my background. I've been doing this for about 30 years, and about 30 years ago, I was hired by an insurance company in New York City who taught me all of the background of how an insurance company works. And then they moved me to London to help run our European operations as a very young kid. And I was this youngster in negotiating rates with the syndicates at Lloyd's of London. And I'm yet to find an agent who has that kind of a background. And I've just emphasized that with all of our agents, that education is key. And I think probably the second thing, if I could just answer quickly, Mike, is that in that 30 years, I would bet I could count the number of cold calls I've made on two hands. We have grown this brokerage firm purely based off referrals. And that's why the National Referral Network is such a perfect fit for what we do and how we operate our business.
So you do both commercial and individual personal lines of insurance, correct?
We do. In fact, we write all lines of insurance. We include health insurance and investments and assets and all of that, asset protection.
Okay.
So Mark, you and I, I'm glad that you brought up your history, because there's a lot of time in there and you've seen a lot. And so when somebody deals with risk management, right, because you do more than just insurance products.
Right.
What are some of the top mistakes that you see business owners do when it comes to risk management?
Boy, that's easy, Mike. You know, you'll talk to a business owner who thinks he got such a great deal because he bought the cheapest insurance policy that they could find. And, and they think they really got a steal and they've saved all this money. But then funny thing happens when they have a claim and the claim doesn't get paid because they're not properly covered. Then, of course, they blame these nasty insurance companies for never paying their claims. When in reality, had they started on the front end with an agent who was asking them all the questions so they understood what they needed, then they would have had the right coverage. And so buying on price is always a big mistake in the insurance world. Insurance is very price sensitive.
And, you know, insurance is this changing landscape. What kinds of changes are out there? What do people generally need to be aware of regarding those changes?
Boy, that's a good question, Mike. You know, right now we're seeing a big change, a big hardening in the property market, internationally and domestically. There have been so many wildfires and catastrophic claims recently. Hurricane Ian last week is certainly not going to help the property market. And so we're seeing it in other states that even have not had catastrophic losses. And so I think, just as a forewarning to business owners, that expect your property premiums to go up for the next 2 to 3 years as insurance companies start to recoup their losses on all these catastrophic losses that have happened.
Do natural disasters like Hurricane Ian, for example, which we're all really aware of now, do they play into that? They pay into, for example, higher premiums or companies being in financial difficulty? What are the ramifications of a disaster like that?
What happens is insurance companies live on the law of large numbers. And so what they do is they take premiums from people across the entire country, and all of that will help pay for the catastrophic losses that are regionalized. For instance, we're here in the West, and we've had a lot of wildfire claims. Those wildfire claims are paid by policyholders nationwide. Hurricane Ian is going to have the same situation. All of those property losses that we've seen on the news, those are going to be paid by all insurance policy holders.
Wow.
So, Mark, with that, which is always interesting, is somewhat frustrating at the same time. What questions should a consumer ask, right? Because you ask better questions, you get better answers. What questions should consumers be asking to get them in a better position to protect their assets?
Yeah, that's wise. That's a very good question, Mike, and it's wise for business owners to make sure that they're asking about the expertise level of their agent. Is their agent just somebody who's only been in the business a few years and they're looking for the next commission check, or is their agent somebody who's savvy, has maybe lost their hair over some worries about what have happened in their business, and somebody who's seen a lot of good and bad, who can be an advisor for them? I think I would look very heavily towards the quality of the agent. I also would strongly recommend that, and this is not for self-serving reasons, but it's just simply that a business owner should make sure they're dealing with an independent insurance agent, not a captive insurance agent. A captive insurance agent is a State Farm or an Allstate or a Farmers who can only sell, State Farm can only sell State Farm products. And it's much better off for a business owner to have a broker or an agent who can learn about their business, take it out to the market, and maybe come back with 3 or 4 options, and then make a good business decision with their insurance purchasing.
And so if somebody's looking for insurance, where's the best place for them to get information? Should they talk to an independent agent? Should they do an internet search? How should they approach it?
Well, most business owners have multiple advisors. They probably have their own attorney. They probably have their own tax advisor. They have a CPA or an accountant. And they should have a professional insurance agent, and all of those professional level experts that are advising them how to help and run their business. That's where they ought to be looking. And those professionals should be coordinating with each other so that we make sure that the full program that's being put together for the commercial business is appropriate. And so the best referrals can come from that level of professional business owner.
And for the consumer, someone who's just shopping for homeowners insurance, you see all these commercials for all these, everything from Geico to Progressive to the General, all these different agencies.
Yep.
How can consumers get good information and know one from the other to know what the right path for them is?
Well, and I think that's also an independent agent versus a captive. And an independent, like for instance, we have well over 50 insurance companies who we can market to. And so as a consumer for homeowners or auto or whatever other coverage you might have, it's helpful to come to somebody who can go talk to 4 or 5 different insurance companies on your behalf and come back to you with some options. It's very similar to what we do with businesses, just on a smaller scale, just because risks for a personal lines policy are usually less than for a business. And so the concept would be very similar, Mike, as to the process I'd go through.
Right. And I see we got the crawl going here now. Thank you, Mike. So last question to you, Mike.
Yeah. So you mentioned team, Mark, and I really appreciate that, right? In the sense that wanting to be more solution-based than product-based. And there's always been that question of, captive and broker. But how do you see your membership and your affiliation with the National Referral Network helping you develop that team?
Well, that kind of circles back to one of the first things I said is for 30 years, we just don't make cold calls on people we don't know. We work off of relationships. We network very heavily with other professionals. We build their credibility. And then when we have an expert that a business owner is relying on, say their attorney or their financial planner or something, who is saying, you need insurance, the Hatch Insurance Group is the only company I would recommend you talk to. And so that quality of a referral is really what has helped our agency. It's great that I might get a referral from my brother or a family member or something. Those are fine. Even from a client is a good referral. But when I've got an expert who is telling their client that this is the expert who you need for your insurance, we're going to write that insurance and we're going to do it right for them. And so that's where the National Referral Network has been such a good fit for us, is that we give quality referrals and we get quality referrals from them.
Yeah, it's just that rising tide raising all ships. It's that community of professionals who all rely on each other for the sake of delivering a better solution to every single client. For those of you that are looking at this, you see in the left-hand corner the NRN America link there. If you can go to nrnamerica.com, you can find out more information about membership levels. Really, we're just really excited to have partners like Mark. Mike, I'm stumbling here a little bit. I need your help.
Well, look, I've known Mark a long time. Mark and I are part of a networking group, Trust Integrity, and it's a very value-based. So I think that the upside with Mark and all of our NRN members is that the team approach, right? It's a solution-based, not a product-based, and working together, like you said, Mike, the tide raises all ships, and that's what we're here for. And a little raspy. So, go to nrnamerica.com. There's a ton of information on there. We're revamping the site. We have free webinars. We've got a lot of educational content that we help people increase their financial literacy. So plug in. We're here every Tuesday morning. And Mike, any final thoughts?
No, just again, reach out to us if you want to know more. The system, there's a place where you can go to the site and you can learn more. You can reach out to us. We'll connect with you directly if need be, tell you more about how this works. But yes, we will be here next Tuesday morning, same time, same station, for one more live stream. We're going to keep doing these. And Mark, I just want to thank you for your time here this morning, and we'll see you all next time.
Thank you, Mark. Bye out.
Thank you, gents. Take care.